What's up, guys? Today is August 26, 2017. I have two editorials from The Hindu, so let's start it. Lessons not learnt on swine flu. The number of influenza A H1N1 virus cases and deaths reported from across India this year has already crossed 19,000 and 900 respectively. These are lower than 2015 toll of 32,000 cases and 2,000 deaths, but the revived spreading of alarming. In the last month or so, there has been a sharp increase in the number of cases and deaths, over 6,300. Gujarat is the worst affected with almost 250 deaths recorded so far. Rajasthan, Punjab, and Maharashtra and Delhi too have been badly hit. The number of H1N1 cases in the southern states is also high compared with last year, with Tamil Nadu reporting nearly 3,000 cases about a month ago. According to the Pune based National Institute of Virology, the virus has not undergone any significant mutation and the virulence has remained nearly unchanged. It has, however, undergone point mutations which resulted in new strain, the Michigan strain, replacing the California strain that has been prevalent since 2009 pandemic. While both strains were co-circulating last year as per surveillance data, only the Michigan strain has been circulating this year. The increased caseload and mortality this year compared with last year could be pre-existing immunity through exposure to California strain is no longer effective and people are therefore not immune to the new strain. More research is needed to fully understand the epidemiology of H1N1 caused by the Michigan strain and who may be more vulnerable. Despite the high numbers, there is no system in place to release data periodically and frequently. Compare this with the regular updates provided by the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, especially during an epidemic. There has also been a near complete failure on the part of the governments to spread awareness about prevention strategies. Uptake of influenza vaccination by people, especially by those belonging to high risk category, has been extremely poor, with only 10,000 to 12,000 doses of H1N1 vaccine sold in last 6 months by Pune based vaccine manufacturer. Since the 2009 pandemic, H1N1 has become a seasonal flu virus strain in India. Even when the temperature soars during the summer month, vaccination of healthcare workers and people in high risk categories is the only way to reduce the toll. That guidelines for H1N1 vaccination of people belong to high risk categories such as pregnant women, very young and old people, and those with certain underlying illness were released only last month by the health ministry in evidence that India has not learned any lesson from the 2015 H1N1 epidemic. Urgent measures are needed to ramp up preparedness in dealing with epidemics. Second editorial, target section 377 on decriminalizing gay sex. Same gender sex remains a crime in the country due to flagrant judicial mistake committed by the Supreme Court in 2013. The time has come to undo it. Ever since the constitutional validity of Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code was upheld in Suresh Kumar Kaushal, the correctness of the retrogen- ret- retrograde verdict has come under doubt twice. The latest criticism from the court is stringent and explicit, while declaring that the right to privacy is a fundamental right and an inherent component of human liberty and dignity. The Judge Bench has observed that the rationale behind cautious judgment is flawed and unsustainable. It has said that the rights of LGBT persons are real rights founded on sound constitutional doctrine and not so-called rights. So the earlier bench had described them disdainfully. The astounding claims made in Kaushal that there was no need to challenge the Section 377 because the LGBT community constitutes only a minuscule minority also has been completely discredited. It was unreasonable to advance the view that constitutional protection is available to a group based on its size. Yet, in a show of uncharacteristic restraints and contrary to the history of the evolution of constitutional jurisprudence, the earlier bench had suggested that the provision can be diluted only through the legislative route. This week's ruling on privacy rights contain a clear enunciation of the constitutional basis for protection of rights based on sexual orientation. Transgen- Transgenders, even through again transgenders, even though insignificant in numbers, are entitled to human rights. Another bench had observed in National Legal Services Authority 2014 in a subtle hit at the minuscule minority formation in Kaushal. Another point, it said Section 377 had been an instrument of harassment and abuse and something that the earlier judgment had refused to accept. Significantly, it advocated the adoption of the Yoga Karta principle, norms on gender identity and sexual orientation adopted by the human rights experts in 2006 in Indonesia. A key principle is that discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity must end. By commenting this norm, again, by commending this norm, the court had has located sexual orientation not only as a freedom flown from the right to privacy but as demanding of non-discriminatory treatment. Both these verdicts correctly refrain from ruling on the validity of Section 377 as it was not the primary question before them. However, it is quite apparent that a strong body of constitutional jurisprudence is now available to target Section 377 as and when a five-judge bench takes up the reconsideration of caution by the latest word. The sexual orientation is an aspect of the right to privacy and any and an inalienable part of human dignity, freedom, and personal liberty. Under the 2014 reasoning, it is relatable to both dignity and equality. Read together, they have laid the foundation of restoring the Delhi High Court judgment of 2010 in Nas Foundation, which read down Section 377 to decriminalize consensual sex among adults, irrespective of gender. Thank you.